Hey everybody, welcome to Offshoot Comics Off Topic. We're your host Kirby Kid,
Black Superman,
Simply Cedric.
also known as David Clark,
Walter Bryant.
Cedric Harris.
and today we're talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 6, the finale. Bet y'all thought we weren't going to come back 2 weeks in a row, but we did. Look at us being consistent this time. So I liked it. I think it was too short. I would have liked more. But I get it. They finished filming in the middle of a pandemic, a once in 100 years pandemic. So props to them just finishing it without a death.
Yeah.
you know. But I loved it. The moment I saw the Falcon suit or the Captain America Falcon suit, I was like, great. When does that figure come out?
Right.
Because it looked great. Anybody who's read comics knew what his suit was gonna look like. After they left us on that cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I loved when the dude asked who he was. He said, "I'm Captain America." Just I love the whole thing. But what did you guys think about the episode?
Well, personally, I think I really, really love the fact that when he said he was Captain America the first time, he didn't declare I'm Captain America and strike a hero pose or anything. He's just sort of walking by dude, and dude's like, Falcon's like, no, Captain America, and just keeps going. It's like, understand, dude, this is who I am. Get over yourself. You can call yourself whatever you want to, but this is me. I'm Cap. And then by the end of the episode, people are calling him Captain America because, dang it, he's earned it, whatever. But
Right.
I got into a talk with somebody online about the whole thinking that it was going to be a declaration thing, and he was like, "Well, maybe Bucky should be the first person to call him Captain America." And I was like, "No, in this particular instance, a white guy can't be the first person to say he's Captain America. He has to say it first."
Right. Because it also wouldn't mean anything from Bucky because Bucky and Cap already chose Sam anyway.
Yeah.
Like they're cool with it. We need him to declare it to the world.
Yeah.
And I did like how they did, someone in the background, if you listen carefully, someone did call him Captain Falcon.
Black Falcon.
No, someone said Black Falcon, but there was somebody in the crowd who said, "Do we call him Captain Falcon now?" Which I'm sure that made all the Smash community very happy because people were joking about that. They're like, "Oh man, please someone call him Captain Falcon at least once." I now need to see him do a fire punch. I think
Falcon kick.
Cedric gets it. Walter doesn't because he is not part of the Smash world.
I'm not.
Walter, there's a character called Captain Falcon.
I assumed.
He's become somewhat of a meme in the world for his signature move is Falcon Punch.
Yeah.
And it's really funny. So people thought he's Captain America and Falcon. So I was happy for that. I loved how they integrated the tech into the suit because I was always wondering how is he going to fly with the shield and use the shield while flying.
Yeah.
And they really answered those questions, and he is a lot more mobile than regular Captain America. he has access to so many more options.
And then with upgrade 2, with it being vibranium, it's just better.
Yeah, except for his head.
Government, and it's unbreakable.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't hit his head. He should now be able to take hits from top tiers now. At least a couple.
Yeah.
At least a couple. I also liked how U.S. Agent wasn't completely evil, which is one of the things that Marvel has been doing, really good with in the last few years with their villains. Obviously with Killmonger, even Thanos. Yeah, he's a bad guy, but he's not all the way evil. He's not like completely cold and heartless. He's not like cartoonishly evil,
Well, he had reasons, yeah.
Yeah, so U.S. Agent, I did like how when he was presented with the choice, you can go get revenge, or you can go save these people who are innocent, technically innocent.
Yeah,
and he chose to save them, and even when he was getting hit, he still kept going. Now I like that he wasn't the one to save them.
Yeah,
I did like that, but it shows that John Walker isn't irredeemable, which is kind of how he is in the comics. He's not an all the way villain.
Well, yeah, and I
Yeah,
definitely
for a little
think
while
he's
he
gonna
actually was
get
a
him.
hero. My bad. Go get Cedric.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. I mean, I do feel like he's gonna get manipulated down the line by Lady Hydra, but that's a whole nother series.
Yeah, I definitely think that they will use him as the sane person on the Thunderbolts. Like he's gonna be the one to kind of hold them together.
The Rick Flag of the group.
I didn't want to reference Suicide Squad, but yes.
But yes.
I
Well,
was trying my best not to say that, Cedric, and you just ran right into it.
No, I really enjoyed it. I like how Marvel does at the end, like at the end of Endgame, it's like Thanos will return. At the very end, it said Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
I did like that, yeah. Like no qualifiers, not
No.
Black Captain America, not Falcon. But also, I find it funny because people were asking while the show was still airing, hey, is there going to be a sequel to this? And they said, no, there will not be a sequel to this. And I'm like, you meant technically. Technically, no. There will not ever be another Falcon Winter Soldier because it's now Captain America. I see you, Kevin Feige. you out here with the technicalities. But I did like to see that. I loved the fact that he got Isaiah Bradley recognized in the museum.
Yes.
That was good. And like when he hugged Sam, like that black man has lived through some things.
Yeah.
And that meant a lot to him. And I'm pretty sure this is part of what's going to inspire his grandson to eventually be patriot, because there's no way he's not patriot. There's no way.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like when I was watching that, remember when Obama became president, and like that first time you saw him walking down the street as president of the United States, that moment where no matter what happened after that moment of pride that you felt when you just saw that happen and you were like, oh my God, this is really it.
Yeah.
That when it wasn't so much when Sam said he was Captain America the first time that I felt like that, but that first time they showed Isaiah and he had a tear in his eye because he was watching Sam so proudly be Captain America. Dude, I was like, I'm not crying, you're crying, dude.
Right?
Yeah.
It was really good. And one thing I like about, I know there's a certain crowd there that says, I don't like politics in my comic book. First off, it's about Captain America. That's inherently political. But second though, the acting there that we saw from Isaiah Bradley's actor, that can only be done by someone who has experienced the Black American experience. You can't just fake that.
No.
Like, so I definitely felt that. I thought that was really cool. And I know they announced Captain America 4, which is going to be about what happens afterwards. Because in this one we didn't really get to see too much of the backlash, because it was kind of like in Avengers 1 when the cops were like, why should we listen to you? And Captain America like saved their lives. And they're like, oh, okay, let's listen to him. It was like heat of the moment stuff. Where we're going to see the real trials and tribulations is going to be what happens in the weeks and months later. When the news spreads that there's a Captain America who's black now,
Well, and that's I was just going to say, and that's one thing I loved about it, but it was also frustrating, was it was a 6+ hour movie basically on explaining why it was hard for a black man to step into the shoes of Captain America. Bucky had his Bucky didn't realize it. He's like, you know what? I recognize my privilege. I'm sorry, Sam. I didn't understand. But there's still people upset that there's a black man as Captain America, even though there has been a black man as Captain America for years in the comics. But they're still upset.
Yeah. Yeah.
But those are people who are casual fans who are like, Chris Evans was awesome as Captain America and don't realize that Sam took over as Captain America, 5-6 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Walter, I don't think at this point in comic, movie, TV, and movie culture that it's people who are casual fans, because most of this stuff is actually starting to become common knowledge now. Like, especially in the lead up to this show, everyone knew that he had become Falcon in the comics. Like or he become Captain America in the comics. Like everyone knew this. I think it's time we start calling it what it is. It's just a bunch of racist people. Because there's some channels that I follow from time to time to see, you know, like what they're talking about. Who were saying, "Oh man, Disney's too woke with Captain America or Falcon and the Winter Soldier." It's like, you mean acknowledging the black experience and the realities of being a black character, being asked to carry a banner for a country that has never once respected and fought for you?
Yeah.
That's I'm sorry you would like for Falcon just to take the shield and not think nothing of it, or for it to go to Bucky, who was the publicly known and now pardoned, under conditioned, brainwashed murderer. I'm sad he's not the one picking the shield, but it wouldn't make sense. Like he could never be publicly Captain America.
Yeah,
that would just not work. So your only option is Sam.
Yep.
you know, it's funny. I stopped and I thought about this when we were talking about doing this particular show. When Captain America handed Sam the shield, and then Bucky acknowledged that, yeah, this is the choice that Cap made, and it's the right one. I'm actually glad Sam didn't immediately become Captain America, because that means that the two white guys gave him permission to be Captain America, and he said, okay, cool. So no, he had to actually turn it down and then do it on his own terms, and then decide he was going to be Captain America, and make sure that Bucky understood that no, it wasn't because you told me, even though they're cool or whatever. It isn't because you told me to be Captain America or Steve told me to be Captain America that I decided to do it. I decided to do it because now at this point in my life, this makes sense for me.
Right.
Not because you gave me permission.
Yeah. No, I did like that. Also, I love the setups for future movies, future characters. Torres is clearly the next Falcon. I mean, because you saw him repairing the wings while watching the video at the end. So, I mean, like Marvel, poor DC. Because Marvel out here, they've already handed off the mantle to a main character to somebody else. And then that dude's next replacement is already getting hinted at. Like, we're already on to Falcon 2, y'all. We have a second Falcon. And DC just...
Well,
they can't, man.
Not to Marvel's success with the sadness of the DC live action universe, but Marvel just has a way of telling stories that it's stories about people who happen to have superpowers. It's not superpowered people who try and act human.
Right.
And when Sam, like, I had that man tear moment when Isaiah Bradley saw himself in the museum. But it wasn't the speech at the end that got me. It was the speech in Isaiah's backyard before the museum. When Sam said, we built this country. I'm not going to let anyone tell me what I can and can't do when this country was built on our backs.
Yeah.
And that is real. And that people, if Chris Evans said that speech at the end, those people that are hating on it, they wouldn't have been. It would have been perfectly fine from. They wouldn't say it's woke. They wouldn't say nothing.
Right.
But since it was black man saying it, now all of a sudden it's a problem.
Yeah, it does reveal who certain reviewers are online who are saying these things. But Walter, I know you are DC first, but I just have to tell you, look, DC, they have great powers. You know, the Green Lantern to me is the perfect power set. I love it. That being said, Marvel's got just overall the better characters, the more relatable stories. I'm so sorry, Walter. I'm so sorry to tell you this. Now there are certain there are characters within DC who are great. As a whole, it just feels like a bunch of aloof gods. Meanwhile, you care when Peter Parker gets evicted. you know, it's just. I mean, they did a whole show about passing a circular piece of metal, and it was amazing.
Yeah. DC is. I think that. I think that, like, with DC, and one of the huge problems that they've got is I think everybody sees it the Zack Snyder way. Kind of like what you just said. Everyone keeps trying to explain why Superman is different and why Wonder Woman is different, instead of, like, the reason why you trust them isn't because they're these aloof guys who are walking around, lifting boulders off the top of buildings or whatever. It's because they're more like your big brother or your big sister who, when you have a problem, you call them and you know that they're going to take care of it. But that's not how they're presented.
And you know good and well I don't trust Superman.
Yeah, but like you would have in the 80s.
I would never have.
You would have.
Walter, my first words upon drawing breath into this plane of existence was, I ain't trust that dude with a cape. No, but anyway, Superman, yes. But go ahead, continue.
But yeah, no. But like, it's just the way that Marvel is presented is, like you said, they're presented as people, and so you can relate to them. And the way DC used to be presented, they were presented as people, but now they're not anymore. They're presented as like these godlike people who stand above you with their sky laser and swoop down and save you if they feel like it.
Well, because that was a big part of the Marvel boom. Like that's what got them to start to overtake DC, back in the day, because they were more relatable. They were people who had powers, not powers who can maybe grow into people.
Yeah, like there's an episode of Lois and Clark, that show from like the early 90s, where Lois is talking to Clark about being Superman, and she's like angry with him about not having told her that he was Superman. And he's like, dude, Superman is what I can do. Clark Kent is who I am. Now, that's a guy you can relate to.
Walter,
that's not who they present anymore.
Walter, I will tell you with the 100% of the entirety of my being, I still do not trust that man, and I would see him dead.
Yeah, well, I know
he is one bad day away from being Super Hitler.
Well, that's what I think Marvel, like you said, Marvel has people that have superpowers. DC, I think in the comics, they've made themselves, their draw isn't the characters being human, it's the expanse of the universe. Like, they have a multiverse that instead of having a Superman going through ups and downs, you just bring a Superman from another dimension and have him be bad. You can have the crime syndicate, but DC doesn't want to lean into the multiverse. They want to try and humanize these godlike creatures. That doesn't make sense.
Right. Well, now, for anyone listening, though, that is not to say that some of the greatest comic books of all time have not come from DC, because they are fantastic. I mean, like, Kingdom Come is like it's up there. If Kingdom Come is not in your top 10, then you haven't read comic books. The Dark Knight Returns. I love that because Walter, why I love that.
Because it wouldn't happen.
Actually, it did happen. The Killing Joke is really good. There's a lot of really good. Go ahead.
I said Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah. Not what you saw on CW. Not that. Not ever that. But there's a lot of
each one of those books. Each one of those books also is exactly what I was saying. Those are the books where they took them and they're like, okay, this is what's going on in their lives, and this is how this is affecting them, and whatever. It takes them out of the sky and puts them on the ground, which DC doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah, and Marvel does. That's kind of just like the niche that they fill. Yeah. Is they usually don't stray too far from that. And so I really like that about Marvel. How Zack Snyder was like, it's 4 hours and it's gritty, and everyone's sad and just no humor, and look at this black guy whose body is gone and he's super sad, and look at this fast guy who just can't get his life together. And then you go over here, you got Marvel's like, hey, hold my shield. 6 episodes later of crying and emotion and life changing and impact on society.
Well,
so
think
simple.
about. Yeah, no, it's simple. Think about like Grant Gustin on the TV Flash. What makes Barry Allen interesting as the Flash is that he's the world's fastest man, but he can't keep up in his own life. Like, he's always late, he's always missing dates, he's always, stumbling up, yet he's the fastest man alive. It humanizes him, but they don't want to do that.
They're very. DC has, I think they've long lost that ability, at least with who they have now in charge. I mean, even like Walter, I love Injustice because it is the true and most correct version of the universe. But even the title, Injustice, Gods Among Us. That's That's a little presumptuous. I don't know a god that can be killed by a tiny green rock. Or encaged or imprisoned in a cage that shoots red light at me. Like I don't know any god that can be stopped that easily. But I mean, like they just seem to not. They've lost touch. But that's what I like about Falcon and Winter Soldier. It didn't lose touch. Like they were dealing with the very real. Hey, it's been 3 weeks since I started existing again. Remember that, guys? Remember when I didn't exist? That was crazy. Like this whole series is about putting people back where they belong because they've been gone for 5 years. That would cause a lot of issues. For you, it's been a second. For other people, like, no, I've been living here for 5 years.
Yeah. Well, and that's what, like you said, with Marvel's villains, how they've been doing a good job of not just cartoonishly evil. Carly had a motive. Like, no, we were fine for 5 years, and we came together as a people. Now people who just showed up after 5 years, they want to go back to their normal when our normal has been here for longer. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about some villains, and I'll have to say that's why Darkseid, just because we had the Snyder cut recently. Darkseid he is intimidating. He is very powerful. He is great at killing things. His motivation is to get the equation to control people. Like that's it. Why do you do these things? Power. Oh
yeah.
To be fair, though, there are people in real life who that's all their motivation. Also.
Yeah, but Walter, everyone can't be that same way. He is. He is. He's just like, I want power. Why? Power. Oh. All right. Thanks. But meanwhile, Killmonger, he had a great motivation. Thanos, I'm sure in his head, it makes a lot of sense. I'm sure to him, he's like, this is a deep reason. Now, granted, like MCU Thanos, okay, all right, you make some points. Comic book Thanos, bruh, for a girl.
Hey, look, he's doing all that for love.
Which
there's no greater reason.
I can think of 37 greater reasons. But yeah, Marvel just shows that they are really good at doing space battles, but they're also good at using fixing a boat as a metaphor for fixing a relationship and maybe also a country and possibly a world.
That's just good storytelling.
Yeah. And I wish DC could one day, just one day.
They could if they allowed us to take over.
That's true. We could fix it. We can fix it. Look, all we gotta do is get the Flashpoint Paradox. Do whatever crap you're gonna do there. When he comes back, give it to us. Like once he resets everything, just give it to us and walk away.
You could even say that we could
fix collect your money
in a snap. So.
Oh man, but yeah, I loved Falcon and the Soldier. I love the action. I think we all saw that Sharon Carter was the power broker. I mean that was that scene.
That wasn't a surprise at all.
I have a theory about that actually. I'm glad you said that.
Wait, is she a Skrull?
Yes. That's it. Yeah, I don't think that's actually her. I think Squirrel Wars is coming, and I'm all for it. So.
I mean, she could be a Skrull. I think with as much as we've seen Skrulls, I think they would have shown her turning into a Skrull, which would have been a crazy thing because so far, Skrulls have been good guys and on our side. So the reveal of an evil Skrull, people be like, wait, what? What's happening?
If you reveal her as a Skrull later on in another thing, that would be like, oh, well, the whole reason she didn't want to go to the hospital, the whole reason she was the power broker was to get weapons and stuff for the Skrull to take over. Like, I think the payoff would be better later on, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and you know what? That could also lead to Kang the Conqueror, who is already cast.
See, I think she could be working. I think she could be working for Kang. I think that'd be interesting because I just don't want everyone to be a Skrull. That's especially since we've now seen them as good guys now. Like I think it's kind of it's gonna be a little lazy if every single person is gonna be a Skrull.
Well, it's just like in Captain Marvel, Fury's boss was a Skrull, like a high up in the U.S. government.
Cedric, we don't refer to that movie.
Okay, lady who just flies through spaceships as her power. But I don't know. That was just my theory with Sharon because I was like, why doesn't she want to go to the hospital? Like, oh, you're going to be pardoned. You're being pardoned. Like, just go to the hospital. It's like, no, I don't want to go to the hospital. And then at the end where she has all the weapons, that's just my theory.
Now she could also be a super soldier, which could be another reason why she would want to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you think about it, why am I going to have control of the super soldier serum and the dude who makes it, and not enhance myself to increase my survivability?
Well, she did say like super soldiers are out of the mix now, but I have tons of weapons.
Well, it's because there's no more serum. But
yeah,
if I was her, if I had a sure shot that made you Captain America, I'm taking shot 1.
Well,
at the very least, shot 10. After I've seen it play out a few times.
Well, I was gonna say you could end up like Wolverine or Deadpool or U.S. Agent or a bunch of other people.
I mean, the serum could be why she is as evil as she is now.
Yeah,
it could have made her more her, which is of course. Then there's the other popular theory that we got from Falcon, or sorry, we got from WandaVision. It's Mephisto. All right, I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's Mephisto. I'm not gonna explain how. Just Mephisto. I mean, she could have made a deal with him to bring back her aunt.
Yep.
Who knows? Lots of things. Or she could just be a greedy white woman who's been scorned by her government. That could also be the reason.
That's a good reason.
Yeah. She starts her own Thunderbolts. Because I don't think they're going to recast that guy as Thunderbolt. He's old.
I think they could bring him in because like all they have to do is make him. I think he's in what do you call it? He's in the Black Widow movie coming up, right?
Well, I don't know about that. I know he was in Civil War.
Yeah, I think he's in Widow. I think I saw him in one of the trailers where he's like looking at the screen all like old white man-y. All they have to do is give him Red Hulk. And all his regular scenes are just him standing there, and then his action scenes are just him as CGI Monster Man.
Easy.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I like the actor, but if they really want to go for longevity, they could just give him, Hulkify him, and then have that, like reverse his aging and have a new actor play him, too.
I mean, Tarkin came back for Star Wars. They could just CGI it.
He did come back for Star Wars, yes.
So.
Yeah, but no, I was not shocked at all to see that she was the power broker. I'm like, oh no, that's crazy. How we all figured this out?
Yeah.
What do you think about Madam Hydra seemingly being a part of Thunderbolts?
I love the casting as Julia Dreyfus. I'm all for it. I'm interested to see how she gets involved into everything.
Right. Yeah, I think the casting was perfect for that part. And then I don't know, we haven't seen enough of her doing things yet to really know how deeply her hands are in the pot and anything. But she's really well connected and she's really well financed. So I'm looking forward to whatever happens with her character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I think we saw a little bit of white privilege there with John Walker just being forgiven. Like he broke the rules about being Captain America again, and they're like, "Hey, you're a U.S. agent now, and we're just gonna not do anything about the fact that you're a super soldier. We're just gonna let that go."
He's a mediocre super soldier and white, so it's fine. It's fine.
I mean, they didn't give Sharon Carter a pardon until after all this. 5 minutes ago, this man was on YouTube murdering somebody in 4K, and they're like, "Hey, hashtag forgiveness."
Yep. Listen, he's just a lone wolf.
Bro, his name is still trending. His name is still trending in that universe. It happened like the day prior. Like they didn't make it through a media cycle yet, dude. Like they were just talking about the ramifications of Captain America murdering somebody on Fox News, and they said, "Oh, we have a new report. John Walker is U.S. agent." Yeah, that's crazy. He is back with the government.
Yep.
We understand that it has been less than 24 hours, people, but it is a crazy news cycle this week. Also, 3 weeks ago, we haven't got over the fact that Thanos is real and aliens exist, but you know,
yeah,
we gonna roll with it, y'all. Yes, that is, dude. They forgave him faster than they're going to take when accepting a black man's Captain America, a man who has done nothing but the right thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of that. That was another thing that I was hoping that they would do, but they didn't. Okay. Remember, Madam Hydra says that the shield actually doesn't belong to the government. It's kind of a gray area. Right. I was really hoping that politician would walk up to Sam and be like, "Hey, so we're going to be expecting that shield back," and he'd just tell him no. But the fact that basically that shield belonged to Stark. Stark gave it to Steve. Steve gave it to Sam. It's his shield to do with as he pleases.
And it was made of stolen vibranium from Wakanda. So
which they gave back to him. So
yeah, well, I think they
just never took it.
But they have allowed Captain America to have it.
Yes.
Yeah, Howard Stark did not own it. Captain America owned it.
In that one fight with Walker, they're like, "No, we built your arm, Bucky. You're trying to use our stuff against us?
Right.
Like, no, we're gonna take your arm off because I built it." Like, oh, okay, yeah. All right.
And so, I think the reason why he didn't ask for the shield back because the government knows they don't own that shield.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's why, because they've never asked for it back yet. They've never like the only time they ever had ownership of it was when Falcon gave it back to them.
Yeah, and then with that, he didn't give them to them to use. He gave it to them to put away. Yeah, so when he took it, it's his.
So like that dude knew. He's like, "Yeah, this ain't my shield. We don't own this." It's like Wakanda could come back so fast.
Oh yeah.
We've come for our shield. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh man. But no, I love the fact that they spent so much money on all the effects and the stunts and stuff because Falcon's stunts are really exciting to watch. Like just watching him save somebody is really exciting.
Yeah.
Just all the flying through helicopters and the cool turns and the little Red Wing drones and
yeah.
It's just I think we're in for some really good dynamic fights with him.
Well, he's not the traditional Captain America fighter. He's not like a Tony Stark lasers. He has a specialized fighting style. And like David, with fighting games, there's certain characters that you need to know their style to dominate. And if you can do that style, then no one can stop you. And that's kind of Falcon-esque Captain.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's a lot of good setup here for Cap 4, which is gonna be great. And I know there's a certain crowd that was very mad at his speech that he gave at the end to the white people about doing better.
Yeah.
And it's like, but yeah, I mean he's kind of right. Like, look, whatever impossible task that you would have they would have set their minds to, they would do it. They'd find the way.
Yeah.
It's like, so you can find a way to make everybody happy.
Yep.
You can. It's within your ability. like people aren't asking, for you to like sacrifice children or something crazy. They're saying, hey, I was happy in these 5 years. Oh well, I'm back after being gone for 5 years. Let's find a compromise.
Yeah.
Because you have to respect the fact that people are were blinked out of existence, but they're back. But you also have to respect that life did go on without you.
Yep.
So I am sure there's a way to look. Y'all found a way to beat Thanos, and he was God. All right. If humans can beat him, you can settle a settlement dispute.
If they wanted to.
If they want to, which is what Sam was saying. If you wanted to, I'm sure you have a way.
Yeah.
So
and I do like Sam getting his Captain America speeches in.
Yeah. So it was definitely good. I can't wait to see Patriot because there's no way that kid is not becoming Patriot. He has
Young
been.
Avengers.
He believes now. So I think he believes now.
He does believe.
Yeah, and he will get his own shield or maybe Cap shield one day. Who knows? I think they've got a really good building block, man, for a future team. Like I saw a shot the other day in the comics of the Young Avengers, and I'm like, man, over half that team is already in the MCU right now.
Well, and they just casted Ironheart, so
wow. And then meanwhile, just poor DC, man.
Walter, they're not even sure whether Henry Cavill's going to still be Superman or not.
They're just no. We don't do that here.
Yeah, they're just so bad at what they do, Walter.
They are. I am not denying that at all.
Live action. Comic books and animated movies, DC is still competitive and good, but their live action movies are terrible.
I'll say this, at least DC has never taken a well-loved American icon and made him into a super Hitler. Marvel did do that.
Yeah.
And it was disgusting.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
I almost quit reading comics after that.
I haven't read a Marvel comic since then.
I mean, truth be told, neither have I, but I haven't given up. I haven't given up on them anymore because they rectified that mistake.
After the movie. They rectified that mistake after they started losing billions of dollars.
They're like, oh no, people were serious.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, Captain America, you can't, like, he's not like Superman, who is obviously evil and has attracted evil. He's Captain America.
Right. He's more America than America. So
the reason why I like Captain America is Captain America is America as it should be, as it could be, not America as it is.
Yep.
John Walker is America as it is.
Except for that one time when Wolverine went off on him.
About what?
When Wolverine was like, all these times you've been out here for the homeless people, you've been out here for the black people. What about mutants? We're Americans too. You ain't done nothing for us. And Cap's standing there like, oh my God, wow, I hadn't even thought about you. Which is the whole point.
Walter, here's the thing though. He hasn't not that he hasn't fought for them. It's just that he is a very old man having to deal with very crazy technology and very angry gods and people who come from the future who hate him for existing. The man has had a lot on his plate. Walter, he is tackling systemic racism. That's enough for any one person's entire lifetime. All right? The mutants.
Yeah, but he's Captain America.
But Walter, Cap fights for the homeless. He fights for non-white people. And you know what all people have in common for the most part? They can't casually throw mountains at other people. Wolverine's immortal. Magneto can lift a planet if he felt like it.
Right.
Professor X can mind wipe an entire planet. Jean Grey just cannot stay dead. I think, Walter, they'll be okay. All right? They can fight for themselves. Meanwhile, Cap's like, this little old lady over here who's living on the street, I'm going to watch out for her because her power is she can breathe. And not even well. So, I don't I don't buy the mutant sob story. Like, oh, poor us. I'm immortal. Oh my god. Oh god, I can shoot lasers out of my eyes and miss.
He's only partly immortal, and yeah.
And Storm? What problem does Storm have?
Storm is a goddess.
Exactly. All right.
Storm. There's no reason why Storm should complain about anything.
Gambit becomes a god later on. He's ungodly powerful.
Rogue.
I mean, well, Rogue has a sad life, but she's not defenseless by any means.
She's still super strong.
She is incredibly strong.
Yeah.
So, like Walter, like the mutants, they can fight for themselves. I mean, they've had their own country before. All right. Captain America fights for who can't do any of that
from them.
because they're too powerful. It is in humanity's best interest to curtail the mutant threats. That being said, it is in the mutants' best interest to curtail the human threat. But they cannot coexist, Walter.
No.
That is not going to happen. There can be only one.
I think they can coexist.
No, they can't. Stop it. You stop it right now.
I've always found this funny with Marvel because Marvel, they had that whole dispute with the movie rights where they couldn't use the term mutant. So they came up with Inhumans, which is kind of like the metahumans in DC. So it's like you have normal humans in Marvel, you have super soldiers, you have mutants, and then you also have Inhumans. And it's all kind of the same thing.
Well, Inhumans, I think they're. I mean, they've been around for a while. They're different because of their method of getting their powers. Like a mutant, you can just be like,
you're born with it.
You just wake up like, yo, I have powers now. For Inhumans, you have to be exposed to the Terrigen Mist. It's a whole thing. You basically serve Black Bolt because he can shatter your existence with a whisper. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like there's a whole lot of going on.
But see, then, like, Walter, that's another thing. Like, why are we going to fight for people that, like, one of your dudes, if he talks, we die? Like, I don't need to fight for him. He needs to fight for me. He ain't out there and fight for Captain America. My power is throw shield. Okay? You have mutant children who can rewrite existence on accident. I ain't fighting for you. You need to fight for me. In fact, Wolverine was very racist in that moment when he said that to Captain America. How dare he? He's coming from ultimate privilege, Walter. He's white and immortal. Okay? I mean, Canadian's a handicap. I'm not gonna lie. That is a handicap.
But he is also independently, lower middle class.
Wolverine?
I mean, yeah, Wolverine pointed out once, like someone, I think it might have been Jubilee, asked him how it is that he doesn't have a job and he doesn't get money from Professor X, but he's always got money to do whatever he wants. And he's like, he's independently lower middle class. Like he saved up money since when he was born, like 1700 or something like that. So he has money, but he doesn't have money so that he can just go out and buy a mansion. But if he decides to get on a plane to Okinawa, he can do it anytime he feels like it.
Where he can finally go see his son and he's abandoned.
Which one? He's got like 3, I think.
The point is, Walter, Captain America's never wrong. And shame on you for ever even hinting at that.
Well, shame. Captain America's even less wrong now.
Exactly. He can Walter, he doesn't fight for mutants. My God. Your children can take down countries. The fact that you've lost to humanity at any point is astounding.
The fact that you came in power anywhere is just...
I mean, you have people who travel through hell casually. You got a dude whose skin is just impenetrable steel. Like, what? How is this? What? Your useless leader with the laser eyes. His girlfriend hosts the incarnation of all life across the multiverse that ever was, is, and shall forever be. Yeah. So, like, y'all gotta deal with humans who have picket signs and they're angry and what?
They passed a law that says you have to go somewhere and you follow them.
Just what?
Yeah, no.
They show up to your house and like and they said mean words to you when you have the power to go to absolute zero and make their molecules no longer adhere to each other? What? But we did Captain America. Man, F the mutants.
And yeah, that was actually my biggest problem with Halle Berry's Storm was the fact that moment when she was talking to the senator who was being turned into a mutant and he was dying, and she's like, I hate people because I'm afraid of them. I'm like, Storm, whoever wrote that needs to be hanged by their toenails from a tree.
I mean,
Storm
maybe afraid
fears
of murdering.
no one.
She might be afraid of murdering people. You don't want to be a
goddess.
murderer.
She was worshipped.
It's just.
As a child, she was worshipped in Africa. Like, that is her backstory.
Walter, here's how stupid it is that they need Captain America to fight for him. Toad is vastly superior to 99.9% of humanity. Toad can take most people in one-on-one unarmed combat.
Yeah, and he's literally the worst super anything out there, except for maybe the Trapster.
Jubilee, when she's not being a vampire, is superior to most people.
Yep.
That's not even to talk about people like the Blob who can just sit there while you exhaust yourself.
Yeah. Juggernaut.
Well, he's not a mutant, but how dare they?
Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and ridiculous. Franklin Richards, whose herald is Galactus. Come on. Wolverine. Captain America. I hate you, Wolverine. I just lost all my respect for him. Man, this is not going to be the hatred on Wolverine podcast. How dare
Silly Logan.
Silly Logan. Captain America is for people who need him. Not for living gods.
Right?
Oh man. But yeah, I can't wait to see how mutants get debuted. I can't wait. Because I know they can't start with the god tiers. They can't. Because like if y'all start with Jean Grey, Storm, and Magneto like day one, like I can't feel sorry for you.
Oh, the guy who can disrupt the magnetic field inside your body and pull all the iron out of it? That guy?
Yeah, that guy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Who can do that without moving, by the way.
Yeah.
He can also brainwash you that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy who can reverse his own aging. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Or his daughter, who is a god.
Yeah.
Or his son, who I guess got killed by bullets, which I'm not gonna lie, it made no dang sense.
For a speedster, that doesn't make sense.
That's not a speedster. he is a fast person.
He's just a very fast runner.
He is really good at running in one direction.
Yeah.
He's not good at dodging. We know that for sure.
Yes.
He is bad at dodging. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they bring in mutants. I have a feeling they might have current Cap maybe stick up for mutants. But I would like for him to be like, look, Professor X, I know you out here on your Martin Luther King stuff, but I'm gonna need you to challenge just a little bit of Malcolm right now, all right? By any means necessary.
Yes.
Because Walter, you let black people have been mutants. This history
black people have had Wakanda tech.
It's gonna be a very different history. Oh man. But anyways, it was a good episode. It was definitely a good into a series. Really happy with it. Zemo got exactly what he wanted. He went all according to Keikaku, even from his cell. So that was cool. It seemed Winter Soldier is recovering from the decades of trauma. Yeah. So that's good. And Sharon's a bad guy, therefore bring shame upon the Carter name. Yep. So yeah. It's been a good series.
Yeah. And I think isn't Loki next?
Yeah, Loki is next.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm sure will show all the ramifications of what the Avengers did during Endgame. Like, hey, probably, yeah. I mean, shoot, the whole show is a ramification. The fact that he's still doing things,
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
But any last thoughts on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or how terrible Wolverine is?
Stay black.
Yeah. Well, Scott Summers is still worse.
Scott Summers is a dick, and stay black.
That is true. I can't argue that. But him and Wolverine love the same woman, so they're both kind of equally terrible.
Yeah.
Because him, a very aggressive, angry immortal, told a human who will die to regular gunshots, "I need you to fight for me, an immortal, whose love interest is a multi-dimensional goddess.
Yes.
Can you please fight for us with your shield made of regular metal with some special properties, and your body made of flesh that can't heal? Please."
Yes. Yes to all that.
Hey, Cap heals twice as fast as normal people.
Can he heal from a shot to the brain?
You
know who can, though?
But you know what you can do? You can go back in time and get him before he gets shot in the brain.
Okay, but that's different.
They did that.
Wolverine could tank a hit to the brain.
I mean, yeah. He's gotten eaten before, so yeah. He could tank it.
Yeah. So, Wolverine sucks. That's what I want you guys to take away from this podcast, guys. After listening, that Wolverine had the nerve to ask a mortal to help gods.
Oh, yeah.
Granted, though, he is the best mortal. So, if you were going to ask somebody, it would be him.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely wouldn't be Tony.
No. Oh, God. I see him like Superman. You're not really a hero. You're doing things that are convenient for your life right now, but push come to shove.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Walter. Let's put that out there.
And you're right about Tony, but you're wrong about Superman. Anyway,
I'll say Superman. But anyways, guys, until next time, we've been your host, Kirby Kid,
Black Superman,
Simply Cedric.
Superman and Wolverine suck. We'll see you later, guys.